Welcome to the class on social media marketing and networking. So, before understanding social media marketing, we all have this common doubt about what is the difference between social media and networking. So, we will understand that first, and then I will take you through the different marketing strategies for different types of social media platforms. Is it cool? Okay, so let us understand what is social networking and what is social media. See, the term networking means communicating with others by means of sharing information, right? That is networking. This networking can be both online and offline. Alright, when that networking happens on the online platform using social sites like websites, blogs, Facebook, etc., that is known as social networking. So I'll just tell you a dedicated web app or site which enables and validates end users to exchange ideas and information with each other on the internet by means of sharing mixed types of information and data. It is called social networking, right? And the data which they share can be images, videos, blogs, it can be podcasts, audio files, comments, a lot of things. Alright? So that is very important. Okay, and that is known as social networking. Now, what is social media? Social media is nothing but the platform which we are talking about. Social media enables social networking. Is it clear? See, when you communicate with others on the offline platform, like a school group, like a school, so that school becomes the medium. In this case, a website or a blog or a Facebook page which becomes a medium for people to network is social. It is called social media. Media which is plural. Is it clear? I'm explaining in a very simple manner. It is the combination of websites, web blogs, web pages, Facebook social media pages, computer software which enables the sharing of information, which enables social networking, is called social media. So social networking and social media go hand in hand. It is not that networking is not possible without social media. Networking is possible, it was there from olden ages. Networking is nothing but people meeting and exchanging information. But networking is now possible online with the help of social media, and that is called as social networking. Is it clear? Now let me show you an example of networking on the offline platform. See, you have your friend circle, you meet, you have discussions, you have schools, you have reunions. So all of these are networking platforms for the friends. And then you have career circle. Here again the workplace, that becomes a networking platform, right? Meetings, consultations, all of these are offline networking platforms. Then you have family circle, dating circle, trading circle. All of these were in existence even before social media came into place. But all of this was happening face to face. Now social media has changed the dynamics by taking this same networking from the offline platform to the online platform, enabling a lot of people who could not meet face to face to reach out to each other. Is it clear? Okay, now I will show you some examples of social media / social networking platforms. See, these social media platforms enable social networking, right? Messenger is a platform. Messenger is a platform which enables social networking. It is a social media platform which enables you to share information in the form of images, videos, and text. Whereas Facebook is also a platform in which you can publish information. You can publish videos, you can publish audio, you can publish images and share it in different ways. You can share it publicly with everyone, privately with your friends. You can create a wall and only share information for yourself, for your reference. It allows you a lot of things. So these are social media platforms which enable social networking. On the other hand, you have Pinterest. Pinterest is a very important platform. I will tell you later, but it is. I'll just tell you what it does right now. Pinterest, as opposed to other platforms like social Facebook and Instagram, you can save boards for 3 months. Like, the boards can be saved by individuals, and that information is with them for a long time, as opposed to Facebook and Instagram, where information is lost within minutes, because there is an information overload on these platforms. But in Pinterest it is different. So every platform has its advantages and disadvantages, and for you as a marketer, it is a huge playground where you can share lot of information, lot of persuasion can be done to convince people to get hooked to your product and service. You have YouTube, you have Tumblr, you have Spotify, music platforms, you have LinkedIn, a professional platform. So these are all the various platforms available for you as a marketer, and that is the benefit and power of digital marketing. Is it clear? Okay. Now we will understand what does it mean. If there is no social media, there will be no social networking? Definitely not. So as I said before, social networking will always be there. Even if, as technology progresses, who knows, we might have virtual dating, wherein you wear a specs and someone else wears a specs, and then you meet them virtually, because this is the COVID situation, so anything can happen. So it's the technology, the medium which enables networking is called as social media, and the process of communicating using social media platforms is called social networking. Is it clear? Now this diagram will help you understand clearly Web 2.0, that is, which comprises of www websites, comprising of blogs, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Tumblr, all of these platforms, that is the second circle, that is social media, and enables people to communicate with each other, that's the third circle, that is social networking. I hope this is clear so far. Okay, so now we will understand that using the social networking and social media platforms, how we can market, how we can convince people to buy our product or service. Okay, so what is social media marketing? Social media marketing is the art of creating content to promote your business and products on various platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So you have to create unique content to convince people to you have to create unique content to target people on these various platforms. Unique content has to be created to target people on different aspects of the buyer's journey as well. If you have not watched the previous video, I'll just tell you, buyer's journey is a journey through which a consumer travels to reach his or her goal. So that is buying a product or service. So first, the buyer will be in the awareness stage, where he or she needs to get to know about your product or service. Then they will be in the consideration stage. Then they will be in the decision making and the conversion stage. Is it clear? So in these different stages, you have a lot of opportunity to convince your target audience to buy your product or service. When they are in the awareness stage, you can convince them that your product is the one of the solution to their problems. In the awareness stage, they have just become aware that they have a problem at their hand, and at that time you can use Facebook and Instagram and blogs to get them aware about your product or service as the solution to their problem. Is it clear? Your unique content should be tailored also to the specific platform. In Instagram, when you type content, your content should be full of hashtags as opposed to Twitter and Facebook. Twitter, you cannot have so many hashtags because on Twitter it is a very 140 word platform. So on Twitter, your words that you choose have to be very carefully chosen such that you communicate in as few words as possible. Whereas Instagram is a different ball game altogether, wherein you have to use the power of hashtags to market to your consumers. Is it clear? We will understand all these things step by step in this video. So, now the first thing is that we will understand Facebook. How can we use Facebook as a powerful marketing tool? So, Facebook is now not used heavily by teenagers or 20 somethings. It is primarily used by 30 somethings, 35, 40 somethings, and 50 somethings. So, when you want to target people who belong to 30 to 40 age group, your product or service is targeting them, you can still use Facebook as a platform. You have to create a Facebook page, which is very easy. You can just go to any how-to tutorial wherein you can create a Facebook page. You can create a Facebook ad. You can create blogs and then share the links of those blogs on Facebook. You can share your website on Facebook. You can create powerful videos creating awareness about your product or service on Facebook. Facebook is mainly an advertising and brand awareness tool. But Twitter, on the other hand, is mainly used to target journalists because it is a mainly news oriented platform. You do not advertise on Twitter heavily, but you use Twitter to network with other journalists, with other consultants, with other professionals in your field. Alright, so Twitter is mainly used for B2B as opposed to Facebook, which is used for B2C. What do I mean by this? B2C means business to consumer and B2B means business to business. Now I'll explain this concept clearly. In B2C, when you are talking to consumers directly, you talk more informally. You can reach out to your consumers as though you're their friend and family and create Facebook posts that mirror the posts of their friends and family. You can use language, storytelling very effectively such that they get attracted to your product or service. But on Twitter, you have to network. You cannot just ramble about your product or service on Twitter. First, you have to appreciate your peers, your journalists, by appreciating their tweets. You can retweet them, network with them, and then create contacts. Contacts is the main thing in Twitter. Build those contacts, then nurture them, then approach them. That is Twitter. Is it clear? So Twitter is mainly a PR tool, public relations tool, wherein you can approach and pitch to journalists about your product and service so that they write about your product and service in their newspapers, in their online newspapers and offline newspapers, and in their TV news channels. Is it clear? So Twitter is a tool which can be used to target journalists and other business owners. So it is used for both public relations and B2B advertising, not mainly B2C, though it mentions here as B2C, but it is mainly B2B and public relations. I hope this is clear. Now let's come to Instagram. Instagram is a platform which has lot of users. It has 1 billion monthly active users and they are primarily millennials. They are the teenagers, they are the 20 somethings who will effectively use Instagram. Alright, they look at Instagram and they network on Instagram, they share video on Instagram, they share images on Instagram, they network with their friends on Instagram, they brand themselves on Instagram, etc. So you have a powerful target audience whom you can easily target through Instagram posts. You can use hashtags as well as Instagram advertising to target these users. Never leave Instagram out of your advertising, advertising plan and creative strategy if you are targeting the youth. The youth are always there on Instagram. Is it clear? Now, Instagram is used mainly for B2C, whereas Facebook is used for B2C, whereas LinkedIn is mainly used for B2B like Twitter. Alright, LinkedIn is a professional platform. If you're not aware, LinkedIn is a professional platform which enables you to showcase your career growth, and you can network with other peers of your caliber, and you can network and with other business people. You can pitch your ideas very easily on LinkedIn. Alright, you can approach journalists too on LinkedIn. It is mainly for B2B. It is used for business development, employment marketing. What is business development and what is employment marketing? Now let me tell you, if your college, if you're a educator and you want to reach out to new colleges, you can use LinkedIn and reach out to new colleges using the using the LinkedIn platform. If you want to approach specifically principals, all you need to do is type in principals in Bangalore in the search button, and then you can send them invites, connect requests with your specific customized messages. Those specific customized messages can be used to directly reach out to your target audience about your product and service. This is not cold calling, this is just networking. This is a difference. And then you have employment marketing. You can nurture your employees. You can nurture your employees on LinkedIn. Ask them to update their profile that they are working in your company, and give them some perks, some benefits. So when they show on platforms that they are the brand ambassadors of your company, and they write good reviews about your company on LinkedIn, then your company will have a good image with respect to consumers, shareholders, etc. So this is the way in which you can use these different platforms for marketing. Lastly, we'll come to three important platforms mainly: YouTube, Snapchat, and Pinterest. I'll explain it one by one. YouTube. When I talk about YouTube, I always am reminded of influencer marketing. This is a powerful term, influencer marketing, wherein YouTubers having specific professional YouTube channels are asked to talk about different products and services. See, I'll give you an example. If you are a college teacher and you have a YouTube channel, and if you talk about a new platform on education, then more students will reach out to you. So, suppose X has a startup which is an educational startup, and Y is a college professor. X should approach Y to speak about the product to college students and college teachers, so that X startup gets recognized among college students and college professors through Y, who herself or himself is a college professor. So that is known as influencer marketing. So for this, Y needs to have a YouTube channel. Only then X can approach Y, and that is why YouTube comes into the picture. Is used heavily to target people. Like there are many travel influencers, travel bloggers, and many of these big travel startups and travel brands approach these influencers to talk about their product and service. And they do. And that is why YouTube is a very important platform for advertising. Lastly, Snapchat. Snapchat is another important platform where you need to convince your users within minutes because it has a 24-hour limit. Information gets lost very quickly, so you need to be very quick in attracting consumers. Whereas Pinterest, as someone told me today, is a platform wherein we can store boards, share boards. Okay, what is Pinterest? It's a platform wherein you have all your interests in one board. Okay, you can pin that board. For example, you like a new style of fashion, so all those interested fashion icons can be added to a board and stored and shared so that you can promote your brand. If you have a new bakery, you can create a menu on a board, and menu of all your bakery items can be created on a board and shared, and that will become a powerful marketing tool. Alright, you can spread awareness about your business through Pinterest as well. And let me tell you, the shelf life of these boards are very high. It's up to 3 months, and it keeps no brand should forget Pinterest as a brand, as a platform. Is it clear? So these are all the different social media platforms, and they can be effectively used to market to consumers, and that is known as social media marketing in brief. I hope it was something useful, and I hope you all understood it. Now we will go to another concept, that is the various purposes. Like, we have discussed the different platforms and how you can use it for social media marketing. Now we'll just understand some benefits of social media marketing. Increase brand awareness, which I've already spoken with all of you. Generate leads and boost conversions. How do you do this? What do you mean by a lead? See, when you create content for your visitors and followers to participate on your social media profiles, you need to include links of your website and offers in your profiles. When users click on these links and offers, their information and contact details get stored with your company website because the Google form which you would have created, and then you can nurture these leads, call them later, email them later using email marketing, and also market to them using other marketing strategies like social media marketing as well. So converting leads is also very important. Just collecting leads is not sufficient. You can host live videos, make workshops, speak about your product or service and create awareness. Then get leads. Make sure you get their contact details. That is the effective way to implement social media marketing campaign. Is it clear? Next thing is, you have to foster relationships with customers, and also never forget to learn from your competitors. What are they doing? What should you do? All of these things should be looked at. Is it clear? Now the next thing is how to create a social media marketing strategy. I'll just read out these steps so you'll understand it very clearly. First thing is, understand your target audience. For that, you need to create buyer persona, which I've spoken in the previous class. And for creating the buyer persona, you have to know the buyer's journey. Buyer's persona in brief is nothing but the ideal customer. Okay, you would give some characteristics like psychographics and demographics of your ideal customer, that is the likes and dislikes of your customer, the age, the gender, the location of your customer. You will write down all these details and create some set of 4 ideal customers for your brand, and that is known as buyer persona. Later you will create buyer's journey. As I've said previously, you will understand the awareness, the consideration, and the decision making stage. Chalk out some questions for your customers in these different stages and further understand your audience. This is known as researching your audience. Determine which social platform you will market on. That is again predetermined by your first stage. Based on your audience, your platform will be chosen. based on your product, your platform will be chosen. Then you need to create unique and engaging content. Then you need to organize a schedule for your posts. You can't post everything in one go. So you need to organize a schedule for your posts. Analyze your impact and results. Is it clear? So these are the 5 steps. Research your audiences, create buyer persona and identify the buyer's journey, identify which platforms you'll market on, create unique and engaging content, and then organize a schedule. Finally, analyze your impact and results. That is also very important. That can be done using analytics. Every social media platform has analytics which are very easily accessible. You can access it and then you can know how well you are performing. Here are 10 most important metrics for you to track for the analytics. Engagement. This is known as clicks, comments and likes and replies on your social media post. So how many people have liked your post, how many comments, all of this if you track, you will know what is the engagement of your post. Reach. The number of people who have seen your content, who has been able to have access to your content, that is reach. How many followers are there? The number of time, that is followers. The number of times a post from your profile has been seen by others, that is impression. Then you have on platforms like Twitter, you have something called mention. The number of times your audience members have mentioned your profile, the number of times your profile has been tagged by others in their posts, and number of times your post has been shared as reposts. So these are some important metrics for you to track to see how well your social media strategy is performing. Is it clear? Okay, I hope all of this was clear. Now I come to the end of my video. Have a great day. Goodbye.